France has spent the last 6 months arguing about one idea: control. Control at the border, in the streets, and over who comes, how they live here, and how the state keeps order. You can hear it in TV debates and radio call-ins. People talk about competence as much as compassion. When they say enough, they mean be serious, be consistent, take charge. The public mood is hardening. YouGov Eurotrack on 26 February 2025 reported that 80% of French respondents think the government is handling immigration badly. That single figure shaped spring and summer programming. Anchors kept saying the same line: voters want proof, not promises. Security is the flashpoint. CNews, citing CSA polling on 24 May 2025, reported that 81% of French people want the fight against radical Islam to be a government priority. And on the very same day, the JDD summarized companion CSA results, showing 71% do not trust the president to deliver on that fight. Talk shows treated those numbers like a referendum. The nationalist answer was blunt: the legal tools exist. Use them decisively and publicly to rebuild confidence. Pictures of boats at dawn set the summer's tone. Le Monde on 1 June 2025 reported over 1,100 people crossing the channel in a single day, a 2025 record at that point. The Guardian on 31 July 2025 said cumulative crossings had passed 25,000, the fastest that milestone has been reached since records began in 2018. Viewers on both sides of the channel saw those clips and asked the same question: if it looks this easy, why would it slow down now? The underlying trend fueled politics. Le Monde on 9 July 2025 wrote that crossings in the first half of 2025 were about 50% higher than in the same period a year earlier, and it framed that statistic inside London talks about tougher cooperation with Paris. Nationalist commentators called the missing piece deterrence. More interdiction on the sand, faster lawful returns, tougher action on smugglers, and a clean message that irregular routes won't be rewarded. Some beach confrontations triggered anger. The Times on 13 June 2025 described French police using tear gas at Gravelines to block a launch, only for some boats to leave anyway as officers then moved to safety measures. Officials called it risk management when force fails. Critics called it a split message. For nationalists, it reinforced the same point: the state must look like it means business. Inside France, ministers kept talking about separatism and intrism. The government moved from talk to action when Legifrance on 3 September 2025 published the decree dissolving the Institut Européen des Sciences Humaines after a Council of Ministers decision. Le Monde on 3 September 2025 covered the move as part of a broader push against Islamist networks. Supporters called it a defense of laïcité in practice. Opponents warned about stigmatization. The nationalist read was that it was overdue. At the same time, a quieter legal story advanced. Legifrance on 13 June 2025 published Decree No. 2005-539, which streamlines several talent residence card pathways. Business press and law firm notes said companies liked the clarity. Nationalists called the signal common sense: firm at the border, selective at the gate. Culture fights flamed too. The Guardian on 21 May 2025 reported that the president's party, Renaissance, floated a ban on headscarves in public for girls under 15, pitched as child protection and gender equality. Supporters said the republic must shield minors from coercion in public space. Opponents warned ordinary families would carry the cost and argued for targeted social work and policing instead. The argument kept circling the same word: compatibility with the rules of the republic in the public square. In nationalist politics, the pitch is straightforward. Parties gain when they promise visible enforcement and quick decisions. They speak to the nightly images: a street disturbance, a school under pressure, a small boat at sunrise. Zero tolerance for Islamist networks, dissolutions for hostile associations, financial freezes for bad actors. These are the tools, but the public is tired of press conferences. They want measurable results. Center-left voices stress the risks. They warn that fast, hard laws can overreach and fall in court. They fear rhetoric that sweeps in peaceful people with the guilty. They push for integration that actually works. Language, civics, and work are not boxes to tick, they are the path to belonging. Nationalists sometimes undersell this because it sounds bureaucratic. In reality, it's the difference between a stable future and a tense one. The state should reward people who follow the rules with speed and certainty. Make the path visible, fair, and demanding. Defend the public square with confidence. One law for everyone in every neighborhood. France has the tools. It has laïcité, which applied consistently protects believers and non-believers. It has police units that can shut down violent networks when resourced properly. It has courts that keep the executive honest. The recent Legifrance decree of 3rd September 2025 dissolving EHS and the Legifrance decree of 13th June 2025 streamlining talent cards show both sides of the approach: firmness against hostile networks, clarity for legal skill channels. The last 6 months clarified what voters want. They want a state that means what it says. They want fewer ad hoc fixes and more tested solutions. They want compassion that does not collapse into confusion. They want the Republic to behave like the Republic. If the government delivers visible enforcement and fair, firm integration, the temperature will drop. If it wobbles, the pressure will rise and the politics will snap again.